Back in September, the Titans lost their previous matchup against the Texans. Can Houston sweep the series? Find out next on Madden NFL 22.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. They do it big here in Houston, and a second ago it was a Texas-sized welcome for their hometown guys. They're fired up and ready to go as they get set to match up with the Tennessee Titans. Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon, and Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. They have certainly got it rolling of late. Winners of 6 in a row.
And it's simple. The more you win in the regular season, the more likely you play at home in the postseason, and that can take you deep into January.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Titans, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. Taken in at the 3. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Here comes the Tennessee offense, and you see Ryan Tannehill leading them out.
After seeing what he did last week, throwing 4 touchdown passes, I had to go to my thesaurus to try and come up with some great words for what he did. I'm still coming up blank. He was scintillating.
I'm going simple. I don't have your thesaurus. I'm going dynamite. He was dynamite.
I'll take it.
Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. The numbers on the ground for Henry last week. 20 carries, 124 yards.
And they love what they've got in him. He's the number 4 rusher in the league right now, so you know that you have to account for him on defense, which means you can play complementary football as well. Throw the play action, get it out to the wide receivers, because they should have some open space because the defense will key on him.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there, and if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Tannehill able to find Henry out of the backfield. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Only needing 2 yards on 2nd down. Tannehill going to turn and give this to Henry. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. These two teams, they met in Houston earlier in the season with the Texans coming out on top. So a win here in Houston would give them the season sweep. Derrick Henry. First down and much more for Henry. And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. Derrick Henry. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Titans have taken a first quarter lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So that drive 6 plays, 75 yards. And Derrick Henry able to finish it off with a touchdown run. And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. They'll start out here with the option left. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside, and so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
They'll roll him out right. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end.
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. They go play action here on first down. On the move to his left. He's got the first down inside the 10. And finally wrestled down at the 8-yard line.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here. And now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Hands it off out of the gun. A look there at his numbers on the ground a week ago. There was no answer for him defensively. Over 200 yards, 2 touchdowns to boot.
And that was a fun film to watch because a few of those runs, it was apparent he was just not going to be denied.
And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game. Extra point splits the uprights. And will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Taken in at the 3. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20. Call it the 21. Derrick Henry and the rest of the Titans offense about ready to roll again. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can hit a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll try the right side with Henry. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Well, this defense for the Texans, they were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
And the way they did it was by getting after the quarterback. Sacked him 7 times in that game. Came from all angles, created a lot of illusions, and especially just beat them man for man. That's the kind of defense that really frustrates an opponent. I know this may be jumping the gun a little bit, but 7-7, they're flinging it around like crazy. Look at the drive that's going on here. Partner, we may have to start thinking about one of these defenses just holding someone to a field goal and maybe trying to get an advantage that way.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Kelvin Harmon, the man he was looking for. And now it's 2nd down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right?
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Matthew Ioannidis able to record his 5th sack of the season. They said there was a lot of discussion in their defensive team meeting room after last week's performance. They had 7 sacks. Something in the water. There's one in the first quarter.
A lot of discussion, a lot of excitement because now everyone wants to get involved with this. Who's going to continue that process? Who's going to get to the quarterback this week? But they have to be careful. When you have that much pressure, they want to use it against you. Draws, screens, those types of plays.
Let's see if they do that. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A good return there, 17 yards. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. A good balance attack for that last touchdown drive they had. Now it's time to see if they can do that again.
It really becomes a tale of 2 play callers, doesn't it? The offensive guy, he's in sync. Everything is working pretty well for the defensive
What's going on the defensive side?
That's a tough one because he's prepped all week as well, and he can't get a bead on exactly what they're doing right now. What he needs is one of his guys just to make a big play and disrupt things.
On second down, it's Hardy, and he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 44 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I have not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things up.
Yeah, I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now.
He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down. These 2 teams all tied after 1. Ready for the second quarter from Houston. It's the Texans in possession of the football as they are looking at a 2nd and 5 situation. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Had to put that ball in there with a little extra zip, and he put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, and that little extra pace that he had on the pass, that required a little extra concentration for him, didn't it? Ball can get on you pretty quick in that manner, and he handled it well and picked up the first down.
3 yards the gain there, second down. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
The throw complete to the tight end, Tunyon. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Operating from the gun, Britton. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. Here's 2nd and goal. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown, you're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
And they'll run again. And this is going to depend on the spot, but I believe he might be a few inches short. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal. They'll try and run for it. And this time he is in. A great effort there with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Texans have taken the lead. The call is to go for one and kick the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And the result, a Houston touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Derrick Henry trots back out there and gets ready to go. Well, the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space, and just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with the run so far.
Henry again on second down.
And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
A big part of a middle linebacker's job is being able to take on blocks and then go make plays. But the best ones, they have those big guys in front of them playing defensive line the whole block.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Dante Hightower. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And we spotlight Derrick Henry now. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff?
Yeah.
Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. Into the secondary again. And finally taken down at the 34. 108 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
A first down carry for Henry. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And we were down on the field watching Henry warm up before the game. He's a big man. No wonder he breaks those tackles.
And you remember what I told you when we were watching? It's not all pads. I mean, you get him out of pads and just see him in a regular suit or an outfit. He is a huge human being and a lot faster than what people know. When he gets rolling, he's a lot to bring down.
2nd and 7 from the 20. Now Tannehill. Caught on the right side by Jones. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there.
And that's a nice job of working his way open down in the red zone. Worked that one in and then made a beeline for the pylon. He didn't quite get there, and you wanted to give him a little extra for the effort, but instead...
And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. Derrick Henry with touchdown number 15 on the year and 2nd of the game. And the Titans are able to make this a close game again. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And here's Scott to return it.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. And here comes the Texans now. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play caller.
Now a loose football. The ball comes out. It's picked up by the Titans. And partner, I know hindsight's always 20/20, but man, just in general, those laterals, they can be so risky, and we see the risk that can be involved right there.
And you just have to know, and we've seen it because we've been at a lot of practices. It's not something that's practiced very often. You know, in that situation, you don't see guys really working on it. Maybe like we're bringing the rugby guys in to help us with tackling. Maybe we ask them to help us with the lap.
Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
No, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on, how about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. The pressure really ratcheting up. They get the sack on 1st down, then a near sack. They got to him there just as it was leaving his hand.
Yeah, they might need to change their pass protection scheme a little bit. Maybe bring another guy into the backfield to help protect the quarterback, because that was awfully close.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the 1st down at the 29. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. So now the Titans are going to call upon their field goal unit here. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive with a little more pep in their step because it didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over.
Well, a good job shifting right, finding his target. 7 yards, the pickup there. To throw on 2nd down, Britton. He finds his man, complete. That's Harris. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 30. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Elijah Molden. And the Titans will take over here just shy of the 30.
He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Tannehill.
This will go to Henry out wide.
The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. 3rd and 2, Tannehill. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans with the football here late in this first half. And they've got just under 50 seconds, so time enough to try to work their way downfield if they so choose. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab.
Let's go. That is one heck of a catch right there. Got his eye on it the whole way. And able to make the grab one-handed. Very nicely done, and for a nice chunk of yardage, too.
Throwing on 1st down. Britton. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much. Well, these two teams, they met up way back in the season opener. And it was the visiting Texans who came away with a victory. So they'll look to take the season series if they can win here in Houston. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
On 1st down, it's Tannehill. To the right side to Eric Ebron. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Now Tennessee going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. On 1st and 10, Tannehill. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. Here's 2nd and 10. Tannehill now to throw. And right side, Henry's got it.
Personal foul, unnecessary weakness.
I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And this one is right through. And that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things definitely getting interesting around the NFL as we begin the month of December. So let's get right to it. We'll start up in the Steel City, Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. And it's the Jaguars who have the lead in the second quarter. Trevor Lawrence with a couple of touchdown passes there. From there, we head down south to Tampa to check on the Bucs at home at Raymond James Stadium. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting L.A. Rams. Tom Brady, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. Finally, let's get up to the place they call Titletown, Green Bay, Wisconsin, to see what's happening with the Packers. In that matchup, all even in their battle with the Chicago Bears. Continuing on, here's a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Titans. And they did not do much at all in terms of throwing the football in those first 2 quarters. That's going to need to improve if they want to erase this deficit. Meanwhile, for the Texans, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half. With both of these offenses having their way, it's not likely they'll need to be doing a whole lot at halftime. But the defenses are definitely in need of some adjusting. And for the call of the second half, let's go back out to Brandon and Charles.
Yeah, Coach, certainly no shortage of action in those first 2 quarters. Definitely got to work on my touchdown calls, so we'll see how much voice I have left for the second half here. And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. And the Texans getting ready to go here to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
On third down, Hardy. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 69 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on third down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right, they need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Flushed out right. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end.
Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's got his target, Harris. And the Texans are going to have a first and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because...
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Texans take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Now the Houston offense is going to stay out there as they'll try for 2. They're going to try and run. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
Well, they couldn't be happy that they were having to stop a 2-point conversion because that means they gave up a touchdown. But a little solace there. You saw some good gang tackling, stacking him up before he can get to the end zone.
We talk about offensive units putting in more 2-point period sessions in practice. Defensively, do you do the same?
Absolutely. You have to because you never know how aggressive these offenses are going to be in games nowadays.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. And now he lost the football. Tannehill loses it, and the Texans scoop it. And they will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Texans touchdown. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room where they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave him a comfortable lead.
Steps away to his left. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. And boy, things switched on a dime here. The fumble recovery for the touchdown and also a 2-point try on top successful.
That feels like a momentum call. pick it up on a fumble return, take it the other way for a touchdown. That's demoralizing for a team to have it happen against them. So the offense just says, you know something? Let's add to it. Pile on top, go for 2 now while their heads are down.
Tennessee offense set to go again. Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Second down, they go again with Henry. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in the running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Henry will get it. He's been busy today. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. 140 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues. On first down, it's Henry. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now the pass finding its way into the hands of Eric Ebron. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 29-yard line. Here's Tannehill. Caught by Jones. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Tannehill. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
He's NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. And his kick is good. And they're hanging around here as the lead's down to 12. So his 3rd field goal of the ball game brings him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And 7s, and probably even 8s. You know, as a kicker, you just head out when you're called upon, so he's done his job. It's the rest of the offense that needs to get it in gear. They want to close this gap.
Houston set to take over. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the #1 thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. He would have kept it on the ground.
And they work this well upfield across the 45.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
And he's up over midfield and down into Tennessee territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Flush to his right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
From the gun on third down, Britton. And that is incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about, and you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
Now, meanwhile, they go for it on fourth down, and my goodness, incomplete. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on fourth. And as a result, it'll be Titan football on the turnover on downs. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. They begin with Henry. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Back now in Houston, and that's going to do it. Clock hits zeros. They're not going to get another playoff. Time has run out on this third quarter. From the 50, it's Tannehill. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
And that drop will cause a little bit of angst for the play caller because you know they've worked all week game planning and flexing the tight end out and making him a matchup issue for the defense. They had what they wanted, and he drops the ball.
Man, just couldn't hang on to the slam. And in a two-score game, obviously every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second. Another try after the first down sack. Tannehill.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a fourth down. So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far. On the left hash, officially, it's called a 51-yard attempt. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that lead is back down to 9 now. So they wind up turning the turnover into points as they convert there for 3.
Yeah, that was a nice job there to force the fumble. They recover, hand things over to their offense, and then the offense went down and got them 3. That alone, that's not enough to win a game, but both units able to do their jobs on these last 2 drives.
Houston's offense taking over again. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
They'll look to throw now on first down. He gets it complete to Harris. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. He'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's third down. At that time, finally, a measure of revenge as they get him down behind the line.
It almost felt like relief, didn't it? Because with the success he's had throughout this game, you'd almost expect him to get free and pick up 10 to 15.
And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. With touchdown number 20 on the year. And
the Texans add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Well, we saw this plenty last year in college. He loved to take his shots downfield, and that throw, that was a thing to behold there.
And that is absolutely demoralizing for a defense because you've got the offense on the ropes. It's third down. You're trying to get off the field and then run. You have a letdown in the secondary, and you give up a big one.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one.
Now a first down throw, Tannehill. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. They'll give him 4 yards there. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Back to throw, Tannehill. He completes it to Henry. And all the way down to the 40-yard line. It's a big play there for Tennessee. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now it's Tannehill. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Another try after the first down sack. Tannehill. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete. The Titans on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. A check down here for Henry. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll be 4th down. Did they maybe play that too safely on 3rd down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have 4th down to try and pick it up.
Desperation time for Tannehill on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Titans try it, but ultimately they fail on 4th down. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. They'll run on 1st down. It's Hardy, broken tackle. And he's got this down to the 35.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. It's another 10 yards on that one and another 1st down. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Hardy, and he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A 15-yard touchdown run.
And the Texans extend this 4th quarter lead, and they are getting closer and closer to win number 11.
Point after, up and good. And the lead is now 24. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it was finished by the touchdown run from the 15. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Titan offense now as they make their way back onto the field.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter.
Tannehill on first down. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him, and after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Throwing on third down, Tannehill. And now another one thrown incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
They snap it to Tannehill. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. On first down, Hardy. And bulldozing his way through. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. This defense, Charles, they have unraveled here in the fourth.
In a sense, it's like they're being pressed, like in a basketball game, and they just can't get the ball over half court. I mean, no matter what they do, they can't get off the field. They can't slow them down. They're just going up and down the field against them. Yeah, unraveling would be a perfect word for them.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal.
And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
And the ball smacked down on the 5-yard line. Here's second and goal. They go again with Scott. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
On third down, it's Hardy, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
The Titans set and ready to go on offense.
Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one.
And he'll get this underneath to Henry.
Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the fourth. So from the 36 now, first and 10. To throw is Tannehill. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a second and 10. Draw play. This is Henry. Able to power through. And hard running is going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Now the Titans will use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. Again, it's Henry. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Texans, they continue to keep pace for that first-round bye as they move to 11-1. And next week, they get to stay home again as the Los Angeles Chargers come to town. Meanwhile, for the Titans, they fall to 6-6 now on the campaign. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against Jacksonville.